welcome to another episode of The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're going to start off with Marvel this time, the final issue, I think, in the United We Stand tie-in for Ultimate Comics All-New Spider-Man. This is issue number 18. This one you didn't read, but I think you're going to start in the next issue, right?
Probably.
I don't think this is really spoiling anything, but we're going to have Venom come back in issue number 19. This issue was written by Brian Michael Bendis. The artist was David Marquez. This was a pretty good issue, more of an end to the United We Stand thing. You see Spider-Man pretty much the entire issue fight with another superhero, and then you finally have the confrontation between Miles' mother and father, and whether or not he actually helps out Hydra. And again, at the very last bit there, you do see that Venom will be in the next issue. I think that'll be a lot more exciting. I want to say pass on number 18. And this is actually going to be my pass of the week, simply because it is kind of a weak issue before we get into the story, back into the swing of things with the introduction of Venom in number 19. And moving on to DC.
We have Catwoman number 15, written by Ann Nocenti. This is the beginning of the Black Diamond tie-in that we're doing with her. This one is actually my pass of the week. I felt that it was a very weak issue. I felt lost through the whole thing. I don't know who this new man is. I don't like it. She needs to be with Batman.
Well, I like the issue all right. She did kiss this new man, and I thought it was fine because she's finally moving on from Batman, and now he can finally be with Talia.
No, he can never be with Talia. And where did this man come from? Like, they didn't explain anything. It's just, here he is, doing this stuff. No.
Well, I think it's a tie-in to the Black Diamond thing, but I thought it was all right. I know you were ready to drop the series after this issue.
I was.
I think I'm going to give it a couple more issues still, especially after this ends, because the writer, and she was talking about how she's going to bring Catwoman out of Gotham City and kind of give her own life. I do want to see how that goes.
No. That's fine. This can make you broke. I'm not spending my money on it.
So this was your pass of the week?
This is my pass of the week. I would have dropped Catwoman after this.
Now, you really liked Green Lantern, number 15 this week.
I did. I really like this new Green Lantern.
Yep, written by Jeff Johns, like always.
Mm-hmm. I love what they're doing with his character. I liked seeing you find out who actually planted the bomb, and I thought that I like his character.
Yeah, and you also have a little bit more of what happened to Sinestro and Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm. You have that one page of them.
More of a confirmation about where they are and whether or not they really are dead. Of course, these characters are never dead. When you have characters like Hal Jordan and Sinestro, you can't kill those guys off. It's fucking Sinestro. Hal Jordan's whatever, but it's Sinestro. It was a pretty good issue. I think you liked it a lot more than I did. It didn't really continue that much into the Rise of the Third Army. It was more about him confronting the man who planted the bomb inside the van that he ended up taking in his introduction as a Green Lantern.
I think that's important, though, to set up that character, because he's now a character that we're going to be following for who knows how long. But I thought it was written well. I wasn't upset that Sinestro and Jordan weren't there, which I think is very important.
True.
Because now that they're out of the picture, they have been Green Lantern, aka Sinestro, what this series has been about.
Yeah.
And I thought they brought in a great character to transition and keep the reader interested.
Right on. Also, we had a couple of Death of the Family tie-ins. This one was Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 15. Has that cover I think we're all pretty much sick of now, the die-cut cover of Joker.
You were so excited for that.
No.
No.
I didn't like the back of it where that flap kind of hangs out.
I remember somebody going, oh man, they're going to have these at Comic-Con. Why can't we go? Maybe I'll find one on eBay. I remember this.
Well, once again, this has a little bit of an expansion on how Red Hood was created by the Joker. And you see Red Hood really upset and his teammates kind of gathering about and getting ready to save him. But I think it's going to be somewhat of an important issue, this one and the next one, number 16, because it is going to kind of sort of give you the origin of Red Hood and how Joker supposedly created Red Hood Jason Todd, not just by killing him, but they're hinting that this man was controlling Jason's Todd from the very beginning, from the moment when he was born and a child and all that. Is Joker screwing with him? I don't think so.
That was one thing that kind of threw me off, though, and I'm hoping they explain it really well, because I'm sitting, how can he really, he's pulling facts from that no one could have known. How could Joker why would he have picked this one from I'm hoping they explain it well, but that is a fact that kind of threw me a little bit this this week.
I think, was this a confirmation that Joker does know who everyone is?
I think it is. I like to believe Batman that Joker doesn't know, and he's just because of the ties to Wayne. But he definitely knows who Jason Todd is. There's no question about that.
And he must know who Batgirl is from last week's issue as well. It's not a coincidence that he would just take Barbara Gordon's mom.
Right.
He must know. Batman, so either Batman was wrong or he was lying, as Jason Todd says.
Batman wasn't wrong. What blasphemy just came from your mouth?
I wasn't wrong. You misheard me.
Okay. Next we have Nightwing number 15, written by Higgins. You really, really enjoyed this one this week.
I thought it was one of the cooler tie-ins to Death of the Family, because in this one, Nightwing does end up losing quite a bit. You see a couple of deaths in here. I'm not going to spoil who dies. And then you see Joker kind of be responsible for those deaths. It ties into the circus. It ties into everything that was going on before this, which we haven't really been reading, but the issue does a pretty good job in letting you kind of catch up on what was happening. So if you just want to read Death of the Family, don't be worried. This is a fine issue. It stands on its own, as well as the next one after.
Yeah, I agree. You kind of got to use your imagination to piece some bits together just because we haven't been following it. I loved how whiny and emotional Nightwing was, though. I think that's perfect Nightwing.
Yeah, unlike Batman, Nightwing can't really mask that emotion as well. Mm-hmm. And you see him panic, too, when he's making out with Tony Zuko's daughter, who we all know Tony Zuko killed his parents. I'm reminded of Robin's Reckoning from the animated series, one of the best two-parters that show ever had. So that was really cool.
I just thought that was silly. She's not your dad. It's not like she's, hey, Dad, go kill these people. Why is he so upset? I don't know. Because he's Nightwing.
Because he's Robin number 1. No, I'm Nightwing now. No.
Okay, Robin.
You're Robin. Also, we had Simpsons Comics number 197. The main story, this is an entire one-story issue. Normally, they break it up a little bit, like 2 stories in one. Homer opens up his own burger business after going to Krusty Burger and making up his own burger that he found to be more delicious in his eyes.
It was 5 patties and a bun made of bacon. Nasty.
With a napkin underneath holding it up, made out of cheese.
A cheese napkin. Gross.
So the whole time he's running this business, at the same time, Marge is taking Maggie to a special kind of institution where they're teaching her how to talk. And she's working overtime to pay for this institution, which is obviously a fraud. So it was a cool issue. Did you like it?
I did. It made me giggle a lot more than most Simpsons do. I think this is one of the better issues that I've read. I thought it was a good story.
Little jab at vegetarians, too. And we're both vegetarian, and we still thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
You like that issue more than the next one that's coming up? Bravest Warriors number 3. This one is 3. I think there's 6 that they're going to be making.
They better make more.
Yeah, I wish they would. I think it's only going to be 6, though.
Aww.
The show's good enough, I think. The show at this point has surpassed the comic book.
We need more.
What'd you think of Bravest Warriors?
I love Bravest Warriors. I thought it was cute. I liked notes at the bottom again.
Yeah, the editorial notes. If you haven't heard any of the previous podcasts, the Adventure Time comic book has notes at the very bottom in small writing from the editor, from the writer. Bravest Warriors kind of took, that hint as well, and they're doing it too.
Yeah, but in this issue, if you remember the last one, they're on a planet of clowns. And Danny hates clowns, so he's got on his clown helmet so that he doesn't see clowns, he sees the girl that he likes. Everybody looks like that. So they're continuing trying to find the big bad guy, and they decide to split up. And I loved Beth's one line where she's trying to stop them, and they're all gone. And she's like, yep, because this always works out well. And then they go into all the bad things that are actually happening to everybody.
And then I also like the backup story, Bravest Warrior by Danny. And the entire time, it's just like his rendition of what happened, and he just makes himself out to be like this complete awesome badass. At one point, he throws a Hadouken fireball from Street Fighter. I thought that was awesome.
It was. It was really cute. I love that it was drawn on notebook paper, too, with, crayon.
Yeah.
Here we go.
A couple of the variants, if any of you collect variants, the Bravest Warriors have the variants set up as a notebook, also, like the cover, just like how you were describing it. Even though you like Simpsons a little bit more, do you still like number 3, Bravest Warriors?
Of course, I would definitely pick it up. And if you haven't been following the cartoon on YouTube, hilarious as well.
And also, I read Star Trek The Next Generation and Doctor Who's crossover. This is the number 8 and final issue of this little crossover. The cover was pretty cool, very retro. I liked it. The ending was a little bit of a letdown, but you did have some pretty cool moments from Data, and when he confronts the Cybermen as well. You finally get to see Worf really let loose and fire his laser all over the place. And what's funny is Picard, at the very end, once they kind of solve everything and the Doctor's getting ready to go back to his own timeline, he does say, although I hope you won't be offended if I say, I hope our paths don't cross again. I thought that was really funny.
It was very Picard.
I still don't think he liked the Doctor in the end.
Probably not.
But it's all right. It was still cool.
And now, for my pick of the week, we have Saga Chapter 8.
Yeah, you're dying to talk about this. So.
I love Saga. This is fantastic series. I hope it goes on forever. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan and drawn by Fiona Staples. I think it's drawn beautifully. I'm completely in love with all the characters. In this one, we get to see more of Marco and Alana's backstory. She's talking to his father, and I think his father's a great character too. You know, he's dying and he's not telling anybody because he doesn't want his last moments to be filled with pity and sadness, and he wants as much joy as he can get out of his family before he goes. I loved Marco's loyalty to his family, even in front of his mother. He's, you're not going to talk about my wife ever again when she makes a derogatory comment. It's fabulous.
Yeah, really, the heart of this issue was the relationship between Alana and Marco's father. You're absolutely right. I think that was my favorite part of the book, was near the beginning, the first half there. So it was just a really cool moment, I think.
It was. It's fantastic writing, guys. I can't stress how good this is. They have developed the character so well in just 8 issues. And I don't think there's a character that I don't care about.
Yeah, this was Saga number 8. And like we mentioned a couple of podcasts ago, the trade is available now. It covers the first 6 issues, and it's only $10. That's a great price completely as far as like trade paperbacks go.
Holiday gifts.
Very good. And also, Chapter 7 is also available. You can find that pretty easily at this point. And Image also came out with Image Firsts. They brought out Saga number 1 for $1, like a reprint of it. So that's kind of cool, but for $1, just put that $1 towards the trade because you get more issues and you get almost a complete half of the first arc that they're working through. That's going to be my pick as well. It was a really good issue. Once again, to summarize, my pass of the week is Ultimate Comics Spider-Man.
My pass is Catwoman.
And both our picks of the week, Saga Chapter 8. Really good. Mm-hmm. Something pretty sad happened this week. The Nintendo Power arrived, the final issue of Nintendo Power. There's no more. Nintendo Power is done. Nintendo decided not to renew their partnership with the magazine for whatever reason. It wasn't sales because they were doing fine. They talked about it online, a couple of the editors. Nintendo didn't want to do it anymore. And that was the final issue. They had a really cool cover. It goes all the way back to the first issue of Nintendo Power. It does like a little homage to it. They recreated that in clay, just like in the first issue. And do you have many memories of Nintendo Power yourself?
I've only read a couple issues, but I do remember I'd always, whenever Pokemon was coming out, that's where I would go, or Rhythm Heaven, all the Kingdom Hearts games. So I am going to miss it. I think it was a good source of information. It's sad. It
was the Pokemon Center, I think, that section. Remember, at first it was really cool because they'd tell you all the little secrets about Pokemon. Then eventually it just kind of became like a little information center about individual Pokemon when they kind of ran out of things to talk about and write about. One of the many sections that was eventually phased out, it was like that code section too. I forgot what it was called. I think like classified information. That was pretty awesome. But the final issue comes with like a personal little page written just for the readers, telling them thank you for the support all these years, and gives you a pretty cool farewell. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the picture. If you want to pause it and read it, it's right there for everyone to read. And if you did get Nintendo Power and your subscription went on past this final issue, they are going to issue a refund. I believe they said in December, if not before then too, they'll issue those refunds.
Okay.
this December, sometime by the end of December. And I remember my artwork was featured in one of the issues as well.
Do you have that issue?
Yeah, I have the issue.
Take a picture.
Oh,
come on, no, put it up. You have to you can't tease us like this. You have to put it up.
All I'm gonna say, it was
we'll get 1 million views.
It was just a picture from The Simpsons, and they put it up. It was kind of cool. Like, it made me happy.
I want to see this now.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
Well, we didn't watch any movies this week, but we did have these comics. I think we're going to have one comic maybe next week. I'm not sure. That comes out. It's going to be a very small week for comics. But I am going to read the Wonder Woman trade. We both are. We're going to talk about that. We'll probably watch a movie or something to talk about next week, since it is such a small week for comics, a couple of video games. Hopefully, I mean, it's just a little sucky that this week and next week are kind of low end, so it's kind of like a letdown for the end of the year. But we did have Batman and Robin last week, which was pretty awesome. So overall, you're looking forward to 2013?
Absolutely. I'm waiting for that Valentine's issue. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
The New 52 Valentine's Day special.
Batman and Catwoman.
Young romance.
She can dump this whatever the hell his name is.
Well, she doesn't look like she's dumping him because they were kissing.
No, she can dump him.
And then you also got the Trinity War coming up, which is pretty awesome. Superman versus Wonder Woman versus Batman.
Superman is never versus Batman. He's always for Batman. But he has to, put up this front so that people don't know he's gay.
Yeah. But sorry, it's going to be a bit of a shorter podcast this week. But thanks for listening, as always. Make sure to leave us a comment below. Find us on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke. Hashtag, let us know what made you broke this week. Once again, hashtag ReasonsI'mBroke. I think that'll do it for this week. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.